The forest goes quiet. That's the first sign. Birds stop, insects stop. You freeze mid-step, spear half raised, because in your world, silence means something is watching. But this isn't a predator. It's worse. It's people. People you've never seen before. You've lived your whole life inside one small circle of faces. Your mother, your brother, the old man who tells the fire stories, maybe 30 people total who you have ever laid eyes on. And now, across the clearing, there are more. Strangers, standing the exact same way you're standing. Frozen, weapons half raised, breathing hard. What do you do? For most of human history, this moment happened constantly. Small bands of 20 to 50 people moving across landscapes, bumping into other small bands doing the same thing. No treaties, no language guarantee, no idea if the strangers in front of you see you as human at all. Here's the strange part. Most of these first encounters didn't end in violence. They ended in something far more awkward and far more human. The first response, almost universally, was stillness. Neither side approached. Neither side retreated completely. Anthropologists who've studied surviving hunter-gatherer groups in the modern era, people whose lives still echo this ancient pattern, recorded the same reaction over and over. Bodies go rigid. Eyes track every movement. Nobody speaks because there's nothing to say yet. You don't know if their words are threats or greetings. You don't know if raised hands mean peace or I'm about to throw something. So the body talks instead. Slow movements. Lowered weapons but never fully dropped. Open palms, held out, empty. This gesture shows up again and again across unrelated ancient cultures. Not because someone invented it and passed it along, but because it says one specific thing in a way almost impossible to fake. I am not hiding a weapon. I am not preparing to strike. It's one of the oldest pieces of body language humans ever developed, and you still use a version of it today, every time you shake a stranger's hand. But peaceful didn't mean safe. Not yet. Because here's what made first contact so dangerous. You had no way to know their rules. Every tribe had developed its own understanding of territory, of resources, of what counted as an insult. A gesture that meant hello in your group might mean I dare you in theirs. Standing too close, making eye contact for too long, even smiling, bared teeth to an unfamiliar eye doesn't always read as friendly. One wrong signal, and stillness could break into something else entirely. So how did strangers ever get from frozen silence to actual contact? It usually wasn't a person who moved first. It was an object. Objects don't have tone of voice. They can't misread a gesture. A shared object, food, a tool, a piece of shaped stone, becomes the first thing both sides can look at instead of each other. So someone reaches down, slowly, and sets something on the ground between the two groups. A handful of nuts, a cut of meat, a carved point still warm from someone's palm. Then that person steps back. This single motion did more work than any spoken word could. It said, I have more than I need, and I'm choosing to share it with you. Resources meant survival. Showing you had enough to give away was proof you weren't a threat. You weren't here to take what little the other group had. The waiting that followed could stretch on. Minutes. Sometimes what felt like forever. Someone from the other side would eventually approach, usually not the strongest warrior, but someone lower risk. An older member. Someone slower, less likely to be read as an attacker. They'd crouch, study the object, maybe smell it, and if they picked it up and ate it or held it up toward their own group, contact had begun. From there, tribes built something almost like a shared toolkit of instant proof. Physical contact, a light touch on the arm, an open palm pressed to another open palm, carried enormous weight. because touch is one of the hardest things to fake sincerity with. Mimicry mattered too. If one group made a sound, a rhythm, a simple gesture, and the other group copied it back, that mirroring signaled something deeper than words ever could. We understand you. We are willing to become like you, even for a moment. And then, almost unbelievably fast, children. If kids were present on either side, they often broke the tension before the adults did. Children don't carry the same threat calculus adults do. A child wandering a few steps closer, curious, unafraid, could pull a nervous system down from full alert faster than any gesture an adult made. Parents on both sides would tense, and then relax, watching the child do what the adults couldn't yet risk doing themselves. But not every first contact ended this way. Sometimes the silence held too long. Sometimes a mistimed movement was misread as a lunge. Sometimes there wasn't enough food to share, and desperation made trust impossible. In those encounters, ancient conflict could ignite in seconds. Sharpened wood, meeting flesh, a fight that reshaped who returned home and who didn't. The line between two tribes becoming allies and two tribes becoming enemies often came down to almost nothing. A few seconds of stillness, one extended hand, one unlucky sound at the wrong moment. And what's strange is, we never fully outgrew this. Watch two strangers meet today, anywhere in the world. Watch how they stand. Watch the space they leave between their bodies before either one speaks. Watch the exact moment eye contact becomes too long, and someone looks away first. That silence in the forest never really ended. You just moved it indoors,